Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Radio Free Wall Street. You are here. You are here. This is getting to be some serious things we have to talk about. I want to be absolutely crystal clear. The Trump presidency has cratered. It is over with. Donald Trump will not, deep state, no state, restate, make it past his first term. He will make it the end of his first term. Donald Trump's about to suffer humiliating defeat in the midterm elections. He will lose for sure the House, and I believe he'll also lose the Congress. When Donald Trump loses just the House, this will start endless investigations. And let me tell you, when you stir shit, it stinks. Now, with Donald Trump, you're about to have a shit explosion. Donald Trump's an evil man. Donald Trump's own team, not the deep state, has come out against him aggressively. Many more people in the White House have said that they agree with the op-ed in the New York Times. And Donald Trump's out of control. They regard him as a danger to the United States of America, and I do also. And like I said, I give a shit about who he pinched, winced, pissed on, pissed off. I really don't care. What I do care is about Donald Trump's stance towards Russia, Donald Trump's cozy relationship with Putin, our mortal enemy. I'm really gravely concerned about Donald Trump's trade wars. His economic policy suck, and the country's being devastated. Now, I'm glad he rolled back some regulations. Boo. And I'm certainly glad that he is a champion of no one, for no one, after no one, in no one. And I'm also very glad he sold out to Wall Street. Let me show you why. We're about to have the biggest stock market correction and wipeout ever. This is your 2-minute warning. For those of you who are part of our premium services, we will be into stock market trades next week, and I want you to know about it. And we're publishing details of what trades we want to do, of course, on our confidential servers. And you need to know this. Donald Trump's trade war is really serious. He is going to include more sanctions against the Chinese. He needs, in Donald Trump's estimation, a publicity stunt. He needs to carry the day. He needs to show that he's the big dick in the room. And part of doing that is going to be attacking China without mercy. Is China a currency manipulator? Hell yes. Did Donald Trump declare China a currency manipulator? No. Are there facilities involved in trade structures for Donald Trump to take his grievances to the proper channels? Yes, there is. Did Donald Trump do it? No. Donald Trump was the headline. Now, what he's going to do, and I think is going to stun Wall Street, is he's going to put duties against everything that comes into America from China. And these duties, $400, $500 billion, will devastate the U.S. consumer. Now, I know Donald Trump's your friend of the coal miner. I know he's your friend if you're an assembly line worker in the factory, and don't forget making steel great again, and I'm so excited. But the reality is that Mr. Coal Miner, Mr. Assembly Worker at the Chevy factory, Mr. Aluminum Smelter guy, and Mr. Oh Sparky, wow, lava lamp, look at the poor of the iron ore worker, it's that what he gave back with the left hand, he took back twice with the right hand. What minuscule tax decreases American workers got are gone. The energy price increase alone is eating that up. The tax break bonanza for billionaires meant that interest rates are going higher. That means your credit card debt, your car debt, and don't forget that F-150 pickup truck payments are going to get higher and higher. And there's another side of it, and that's the slowing economy. We'll be producing less steel, less aluminum, less cars, and already the price increases are working their way through people who use lumber, for people who use steel. And it's just starting to rev up in the economy. So Donald Trump's cost you a fortune. Now, these 20 to 25% duties across the board, I'm sure he'll moderate a rate and negotiate them, this and that, will devastate farmers, cattlemen, grain growers, chicken producers, and don't forget my Porky the Pig friends. Now, understand that Donald Trump's not hurting China. He's devastating the U.S. country, the U.S. consumer, the U.S. economy, and this will end up very badly. Donald Trump needs to be stopped. Not in my pay grade. And Donald Trump is a menace to mankind. Donald Trump is the most dangerous president I've ever seen. He's out of control. Absolutely, positively, he cannot be trusted. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He has no grasp of the issues that we face. And he's the biggest disaster president ever. Now, that is really good news for me and you. Now, for the masses, Hulkenberries and, I like Donald Trump. I got my opioid cheaper now, and I can make America great again. You know, for those congenital idiots, they may think he's a great guy. They're going to wipe you out. Now, for the smart people, I'm talking about the people here, the entrepreneurs, the educated business people, self-made people that are subscribers. This is the greatest trading opportunity you're ever going to see. Donald Trump is out of control. The Wall Street establishment does not understand how much trouble the economy is in. Because if you're a Wall Street fat cat, how could you? You just got your biggest pay raise ever. You just got your biggest dividend payout ever. You just got your biggest stock option payout ever. And Wall Streeters have run and taken the money. We've seen the largest sales of stock by insiders for cash in the history of the market. We have seen the largest share of buyback in the history of Wall Street. We've seen the largest dividend payout in the history of Wall Street, all with your tax money, okay? And who's going to pay for that? The working class Americans. Now, the really good part about this is that it's over. It was a sugar high. 2 good quarters of nice numbers. Starting the third quarter, we'll moderate. Fourth quarter, we will come down, and then starting next year, oh, shit, oh, my God, it's a recession. They told me the yield curve inverted this time was different, and my Fidelity fund, the yield's coming down, and they talk about the default. What's a default? Well, it's stupid. That's when they buy a Venezuela bond to throw it into your Fidelity deferred tax-free income millionaire maker account. Okay, remember the millionaire maker. How much do you need in retirement? Put the money here. How much is the yacht? Okay. How much is the house in Florida? Okay. A European vacation every year. So you need $3 million. You can't make it, but buy the Fidelity XYZ Special Situation Fund, dog shit fund, and your retirement dreams will be realized. Of course, what they didn't tell you was the way they got that high yield was Venezuelan debt that now has gone broke. They bought it a year ago. I love the 100-year bond in Argentina. Don't forget chock full of Spanish bank debt, chock full of Italian bank debt. Did I mention Turkey? Sucker! Yep, you got that in your little retirement account. And when you call them, go, here, you want to hear tap in? Can you tell me what's in my Fidelity? Yeah, it's here. And high yield, great return, bottom line, what pays the salesman the biggest commission. So a whole lot of baby boomers will be baby doomers, and their life savings will be doomed. Now listen to me. You want a chance to live the life of your dream? Look, you're not going to make a life of your dream saving money. You're not going to make a life dream buying U.S. government bonds, okay, and Treasury notes. The only way you're going to make the life of your dreams is by super return investing, and that's not going to be the stock market, okay? So you have got to get in there, and you've got to speculate, and you've got to speculate your ass off with money you can afford to lose. Now, once you establish that this is 20% of my net worth I can afford to lose, now it's rock and roll, baby, oh, honey, sweetheart. Because you know what? Donald Trump is a douchebag. Donald Trump's a boozer loser. Donald Trump is the con man, the hustler, the bullshit artist is done. Put a fork in him. The toast is burning. Smell that smell? That's Donald Trump's ass on fire and his great big you-know-what. Now, you can say whatever you want to say. Deep state conspiracy. Donald Trump right now is in a witch hunt. I mean, they're going with torches and pitchforks office to office to find out who did it. And the thing is that there's a whole lot of whodunits. So Donald Trump's got a problem. It's not the deep state. No, it's not Hillary. Oh, God, lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her up. No. It's not Curry. No. And who is it? It's his own people. His own hand-picked people who are around him every day going, this guy's out of control. This guy's got his head up his ass. This guy does not know what he's doing, and he's in trouble. This guy is going to devastate the economy. He is going to devastate the world. The world, my friends, you know, hatred is a disease that humans can catch, just like the common cold. It's easy to dislike people who are different than you. They smell, they look funny, but reality is that I've always believed with all my heart and soul. Who am I to judge if God made another human being? Okay, I may not want to dance to Watusi. I may not want to eat with chopsticks. Okay, I may not want tortillas. But they have a right to have their lives. And they have a right to seek a better life. They have a right to protest against their government. They have a right to migrate. Now, if we have that open-minded attitude and saying that, you know, And I'm not a socialist. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool capitalist pig. I got the stripes to prove it, okay? Yep, I've screwed a lot of companies out of their money, so that must make me a capitalist pig, okay? I've shorted the shit out of markets, and I've toppled the biggest brokerage firms in the world. I have traded the biggest stock market wipeouts and made millionaires out of hundreds and hundreds of people, so they tell me. And I still believe that if you're born into the world, you have a right to basic health care. You have the right to basic shelter. I mean basic. You have a right to just a modest amount of food. Now, when you get that, then it's up to you to do something about it if you choose. Also, education. So I believe in this world that if we get people healthy without dying of malaria, and we get people out of abusive, drug-infested homes, if we get kids out of the ghettos into school, whether it's a black ghetto, whether it's a Spanish ghetto, whether it's an Indian ghetto, I think we have to uplift our human beings. Now, one of the greatest things is that you get any human being and you educate them. And I believe, you want to hear goofy I believe every human being has some innate talent, has some innate gift. I believe there's a place for everybody in the world, and I believe God has put everybody on earth with enough tools that they can make a living, they can feed their family, and they can pursue happiness. Well, what goofy shit that is. That's what America was based on. And I think with the hatred of Donald Trump, splitting babies from their parents, I think, is a disgrace. Anyone who comes from Central America and risk torture, rape, kidnapping, beatings, robberies, to come to America and say, hey, can I clean your toilet? I think we should vet them. There are plenty of toilet jobs. You know, it's funny, kind of funny. We are constantly we don't have enough workers, don't have enough workers, don't have enough workers. Farmers, I know farmers going, can't farm. I cannot farm. I can't afford the machinery. I used to have people. Well, isn't there some kind of disconnect here with the Donald Trump hatred? Give the suckers a job. If they screw up, throw them in jail and send them back to the shitholes they want. I think that'd be a lot of incentive for most people to work really hard. And the reality is, having employed a lot of these people by the thousands, personally, me, okay, I can tell you that my experience with them has been they're wonderful people. There are a couple shitheads, a couple assholes in every crowd, but they're hardworking people. They really, really want a chance to leave their poverty. And they are the people that you want in your country, okay? And I think we're making a classic mistake with Donald Trump. Oh, my God, they don't have blue eyes and blonde hair. Hang them high, Nazi Ku Klux Klan animals, okay? I don't think a man should be published for being black. I don't think a man should be published for coming from Central America. I don't even think he should be punished for coming in America, quote, illegally. Why? Well, all my ancestors came in here illegally. Illegally. Everyone, wop, 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 wop. That's without papers. And they none of them had papers. They had shit. They were leaving Mussolini and the rising fascists in Europe. And I think a human being has a right to do whatever they can to flee from oppression. Okay? So call me radical. Well, that's crazy shit. You know what? And if you do it my way and you get those people and say, okay, here's what's going to happen. We're giving you a temporary work visa. You got to report to the job here. You're not there. We're going to find your ass. We're going to deport you. And you can't come back to America ever again. Now, if you do really good and you work and you show up and you don't run over babies because you got junk in your lowrider Chevy and you form a family unit and you don't commit crimes, then we've got a path towards residency, an eventual path for citizenship like America gave the Irish and the Chinese and the Italians and all the suckers that came here. Did you know that America was originally a slave colony for white people? Whoa! Yeah, we forgot about that. Yeah. Do you know how Australia got populated? Well, England was sending their prisoners here to America to serve their terms. And when the American Revolution came along, they ran out of place to send people because just like America, England, and when empires are leaving history behind and destroying themselves, they arrest everybody in sight. And so you have a situation where criminals, fine. People seeking a better way of life. People lying on their paperwork to get in the country. C'est la vie. Welcome, brother. And just a little bit, instead of spending that, $50 billion on the wall and normally go $100 billion, boy, I'll tell you what, that buys a lot of Meals on Wheels. That pays a lot of welfare checks. That pays a lot of resettlement. That pays a lot of education. And like I said, I just think there should be a process where these people are given a chance. And if they blow it, throw their asses in jail, put them in a gulag, give them to that sheriff over there that feeds them one bologna sandwich a week and all that shit, sleeping in the hot sun, whatever torture you want to dream up with them. We'd be a greater country for this. Even Europe's going down the road of hatred, and the price will be paid by mankind, okay? Because they're not going to stay in their hellholes, okay? They will affect your country. They will affect your children. They will be in the drug trade. They will be doing something besides eating a burrito and dying because you decided that they're dirty and they're nasty, okay? There is no good system here. It's not their fault. A lot of these people can't read and write. Well, you know what? When we had our factories, I will tell you a story. We employed a lot of people. The first thing I discovered was that people were passing out. And when the manager told me, well, that's because they're lazy, they don't want to work. I said, no, nobody smashes their head against a cement wall because they are lazy, asshole. That manager was gone, by the way. So I talked to the doctor, and Dr. Leslie told me, so no. What's happening is they're not eating. And by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, their blood sugar's going low and they're passing out. So we started a little cafeteria, and we started a little, just a high-carb lunch for the people, free, of course. And then we discovered our worker productivity went up. And then we put in a really nice lunch program, and again, our productivity went up. And then we put in a clinic, okay? By the way, it was run by my aunt, a really dedicated RN, and that was the kind of a thing. A lot of charities helped us. But along the way, I discovered that a whole lot of these people couldn't read and write. And so we allowed them out of their job for 2 hours a day and hired teachers to have a plant literacy program, okay? Well, that's a waste of money. I killed them some issues. They can't read and write, okay? And then all of a sudden what happened was I didn't have misdirected packages. For example, I didn't end up with shrimp scampi in a package marked sweet and sour shrimp. And so there was a whole big change. Productivity again increased. Morale was high. And all of a sudden, I learned the lesson of a lifetime, and that is give them a chance. Give them a break. Give them a path to dignity. And the head of the educational department came. We did a big thing with graduation ceremony, right? And I'll never forget the speech she gave. She said, I've been to a lot of graduations. And she said, I've never been to a graduation like this with people that are 30, 40, and 50 years old. And I've never seen a more enthusiastic group of students in my life. So anyway, that was my life lesson. So hang them high and they'll die in the wall and all that shit. Bullshit. I was in a place that had a lot of labor unrest, and I can tell you that we had our labor problems and unionization and all that. And I could sit out there to a crowd of people that were rioting, and they would calm down, and they respected me enough to listen to me, and they knew I had their best interest at heart, and that's just the way it went. I'll tell you one other quick story. I'll get back to the news I want to tell you. We were digging a 1 million gallon water tank, okay? And we had a contractor that was there, and it was a little bit of rain out there, and the mountain slid down and killed one of the workers, okay? Only time I ever lost a worker in my life was a heartbreak. So I went down to the hospital, and another guy had gotten injured, and contacted this guy's mother, and did what you had to do the right thing. And it was very, very sad. They had a judge that did an inquest and decided. And in those kind of countries, if workers get injured, it's not unusual for a boss to be arrested. Okay. So I went down there and knew the judge. Just so happened the judge was somebody I knew. It was a delicate situation years ago, and we had a good relationship, and he knew the kind of person I was. So I sadly went back home to make funeral arrangements, and somehow the rumor was that I had been arrested because I went to the judge's office, and a couple thousand people ended up in front of the courthouse in a riot. Okay, had to be there, and they're screaming and yelling. And to make a long story short, the judge goes, listen, you got to get down here. They think you're locked up. So I went down there and showed them that it wasn't. And then we had a plant funeral, and we did the right thing. Wrote a large check to the mother and all this. But the point was that these were nobody people. And we paid the highest minimum wage in the country. And we had the best worker productivity. And the story I learned by this was that, well, they're no different than you and me. Now, we were lucky to go to a place where we were basically raised parasite-free. And we had food and had education available to us, and, had an avenue to be greatness, whether it was as an entrepreneur or through the route of education. These people don't have that in the shitholes. And it's an honor if they want to come to America, and I'll tell you why. I'll end the story here. If you ever had a dog, if you get one of these pedigree little shampoo poodle doodles that's always had a meal and always had, Sugar Booger, you want the tuna today or the pork? Woof, woof, okay. Now you get a dog that's been thrown out on the road. He's been hurt. He's been beaten. He's had nothing to eat. And you get that dog, and you give him food and you show him a home. Well, you got a dog that's going to die for you, okay? And that's the same thing with people, okay? If America would just open up its heart and understand that, you're going to have a percentage of bad people, and you're going to have some screw-ups along the way, but this Donald Trump program is a recipe based in hatred, based in racism. And like I said, I hate all races equally, okay? But if God made them, then they got a right to be in this world. And then I think you'd be a better person to be more charitable than full of hatred. Of course, I guess burning bodies on crosses is a really cool thing. It never appealed to me much. Bottom line, Donald Trump's out of control. And Donald Trump is fostering hatred in our society, okay? And I can tell you that hatred leads to more hatred. And among the simpletons, I took my opioids and I hate that Mexican. I saw him look at my dog, I gotta go kill him, okay? And you start that shit, and it gets out of control. And you stop, like I told you, they gotta have a job. And it's cheaper to feed them than kill them. And that's just the reality, okay? It's just real expensive to kill people. And sometimes they kill back. And it's really behooves us to understand that Donald Trump's brand of hatred is destroying America. And it gets down to even these stupid-ass trade wars. Okay, now we're going to make, let's get straight here. We're going to make a lot of freaking money, my firm belief, as the stock market wipes out the stupid-ass trade wars. The economy's going into a recession. It will be the Trump depression. We can't get him out of office fast enough to stop that from happening. And listen to me carefully. It is a situation of events that do not have to happen. There will be wars over these trades. There will be America becoming a much lesser empire. I'll give you an example. Have you been on our Amtrak trains? What clattily, rattly piece of shit. 300 miles an hour on a Chinese train. China's spending $1 trillion on the Silk Road, which brings hundreds of countries together in a trading alliance that Donald Trump walked away from, okay? Now, I know enough about business to know that you want a seat at the table, and you want to be in the game, and America always was a great negotiator, and America gave, okay, let's look at this trade thing. They've been taking advantage of it for 40 years. And in that 40 years, everybody's been screwing us from Canada to Mexico, and the NAFTA agreement sucks. Don't forget Europeans, don't forget Asia. If you're going to call it, if you're going to go after Asia, let's go after China. Let's go after South Korea and Japan. And they're all our enemies, right? Well, we became the wealthiest, mightiest nation. We've had the most prosperity. We have the highest per capita income. So whatever it was screwed up, viva la screw up, okay? And when Donald Trump comes along, who's never been anywhere, did anything, go in the wake of where Donald Trump's done properties, mainly puts his name on buildings, and launders money through his property, and builds golf courses where everybody hates his freaking guts, and the properties are colossal money losers, okay? Man's never been successful. 4 times, 5 times bankruptcies. Goldman Sachs rescued him from the Trump casino in Atlantic City. I was there. It was a disaster. Everything this man touches turns to shit, including you. So if you want to get into the Trump hatred, that's fine. Steel prices are up 25%. We've talked about how the lumber prices are skyrocketing. This is working its way through the economy. This is stupid shit. Donald Trump told Apple Computer, and I mentioned in the news broadcast, that, if you want to, if the tariffs are too much money, manufacture in America and save the tariffs. Yeah, but stupid, the 20% tariffs don't make up for the fact that I'm going from a $4 labor model to a $15, $20, $30 labor model. Okay, manufacture where it's cheapest, okay? Let the labor pools of the world compete. Listen to me. And let your people go to the highest paying jobs, okay? So Donald Trump's vision is to make coal great again. My vision is to get the hell out of the coal mines and do a $150 an hour fracking job and export oil all over the world. And we have no balance of trade deficit. My vision is to train our people for the latest computer programming, for the latest technology, artificial intelligence, altered reality, wherever the technology takes us. We are now not spending money on developing the latest technologies. China is. And we are carefully, systematically taking a back seat in the bus because of Donald Trump. And you need to understand that. Now, can Trump's legacy be reversed? Hear me carefully. We're in for a 10-year stock market wipeout. We're in for a 10-year depression. And at the end of 10 years, ask me, we'll see. Because the damage Donald Trump is doing is lasting. It's permanent. It's not something that can be reversed that easily. And, when you buy into a lie and you let a bullshitter come and bullshit you, there's a price to be paid. And my fellow Americans, you're going to pay one hell of a price for this son of a bitch. And you're not going to recognize America when he gets done with it. And if you understand that, the best you can hope to do is, just, make a fortune trading and buy the county. And buy a politician or two. Influence the narrative. Donald Trump's the worst mistake we ever made, and we got bullshitted. And by the way, Donald Trump would have never came to power except for the last stock market wipeout. So when you have these stock market wipeouts where you don't prosecute these bastards, and people lose their homes, they lose their jobs, and they don't understand what's going on, well, then a fascist like Donald Trump comes to town and gives them a solution. And the solution is never a very good one, and they pay a horrible price. So the people got screwed on the wipeout, and they're going to get screwed on the Donald Trump, and they're going to get screwed on the next Donald Trump wipeout. So stupid is, stupid does, stupid ways, right? A friend of mine said to me once, a poor man has poor ways, and all I could say is, amen, Frank, you're right. So let's not do the poor man, poor ways thing. Donald Trump is a voice of hatred. Donald Trump is a voice of evil. Donald Trump is an imbecile, and everyone who's worked for him and well-respected people all say the same thing. He's a freaking idiot. He is a fool. And listen to those voices of people who were brought into his administration who are saying that, and do yourself a da. And absolutely, positively move in the direction of not letting Donald Trump wipe you out. Open your eyes and don't let Trump hatred ruin your life, okay? Conflicts among human beings, they're easy to start. And peace is something that's very difficult. And being unsuccessful is the easiest ways versus being successful. In closing, I want to tell you that absolutely, positively, the stock market is not pricing in these trade wars, doesn't understand it. That's because they're drunk on their ill-gotten gains on the passing through the tax money that they owed the U.S. government to their officers and corporate managers. Guys that just scored a big payday, it's really, really hard for them to understand that something's wrong. It's really very difficult. They can't see it. They can't understand it. It's not something that is in their realm of understanding. Therefore, they can't trade it. They can't price their company correctly. And all I can tell you is that, oh, my God, this will be worth a huge fortune. Donald Trump's going down. It's been decided. And he's taking America with him. And you need to understand that. Now, if you can rise above the bullshit in the Fox News, remember, Fox News is basically the marketing agency, the publicity agency for Donald Trump. I don't give a shit. But don't let these idiots fool you. Like Hannity, what a freaking idiot, okay? These are morally corrupt lowlives. These are not news organizations, okay? It is an advertising agency for Donald Trump. I don't give a shit. It'd be a real shame to let the Donald Trump wipeout ruin your life. And the Donald Trump wipeout is coming. And it'd be a real shame to fall into Donald Trump's trap of his evil. So if you can scratch your ass and figure it out, there is the greatest money-making opportunities I've ever seen in markets ever right now. Now, I want to remind you that God gave you a gift. He gave you people inside the Trump organization, not the deep state conspiracy that came forward and warned about Donald Trump, and warned about his inability to govern, and warned about the idiotic ideas and the stupid shit stuff he does. You know, should you be scared? You're damn right you should be scared.